All right? I need to do my work. All right? We are the Hebrew Israelites. Come on every week to let our people know who happen to be the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered across the four corners of the earth through their father line, that who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ is coming back to redeem you, his chosen people, Israel, according to the Bible. Not the whole world. Misunderstand of what John 3:16 says. He's coming back to save the elect of Israel, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, through your father line, through the Spirit. We'll start off first by giving all praise and glory. Call all Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Greetings and salutations to his brothers through the work of sincerity and the truth. All right, back in Las Vegas, and we have this thing going on where people forget that there has to be another Exodus that happens. There will be another Exodus out of the second Egypt. And America is that second Egypt. When you go into the Greek word for Egypt is Egyptos, which means bondage. And if there were ever the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans were in bondage, it's here in America.
That's right.
That's what makes this place Egypt. Just like old Egypt, it wasn't called Egypt. That wasn't the word that it was called back then. The word escapes me what the land was called before.
The name of that particular land before it was called Egypt was Mizraim.
Mizraim, that's right.
Mizraim, all right?
Right.
They were a family of Hamites, which you would consider so-called Africans today. They inhabited that land back then in the ancient world, all right? They were the first of the few civilizations that ruled on the planet Earth. But they couldn't rule unless they had people captive to them.
Right.
All right, they had to have servants to build their society up and make them prosper.
Right.
You know,
and it was a prophecy of the Heavenly Father to have His chosen people, Israel, to be those servants in that time.
That's right.
So that's who built the pyramids. The Egyptians didn't build the pyramids.
Yep.
They had the design of the pyramids, I would say that, but they didn't actually build them themselves.
Yep.
They had us work to do. Just like there's no so-called white man rules America, right? Everybody should know that. He didn't build these with his own people. He had the servants, which are the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans and other nations, build these for him. When you rule something, you don't have to do the work yourself. You hire people or you get other people to do it for you. Go ahead.
I got a script real quick. This is Exodus chapter 5, verse 5. And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and you make them rest from their burdens. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, you shall no more give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore let them go gather straw for themselves, and the tell of the bricks which they did make. Heretofore you shall lay upon them, you shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice unto our God, our power.
Now let me say this real quick. Pharaoh, to tie it in, Pharaoh is giving the orders of what to do about how to build his pyramids, how they want to build. He's not actually doing it himself. He has taskmasters that he's over, that he tells the taskmasters what to do and how to tell the people what he wants done. That's what that scripture is also talking about.
And this was when Aaron and Pharaoh Aaron and Moses went to Pharaoh to demand of Pharaoh to let Israel go.
What kind of Bible is that?
Basically, he had control over the tax masters that were over Israel at the time, because we was in hardcore bondage.
Right.
And this was proof that Israel was dealing with the building.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry, I was reading that.
Yeah, we filmed it. That's all.
Sorry.
If you want to listen, if you got questions, you can
I was just
ask.
going to read your Bible there and see what it was about.
Okay, 1611 King James Bible, the Holy Bible.
You got to chill out,
So
man.
basically,
You can't go pushing me, man.
basically,
You don't go pushing
it was like.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Just gone, man.
If you're going to listen, just listen.
I am listening.
Are you trying to
Okay,
listen?
just
I am.
relax. Just relax. Just relax. We're recording. Everything has its purpose for a reason, you know. Our job is to teach you. If you want to learn, if not, you can have a great day. If you do, we'll answer your questions.
Tripping, bro.
All right, well,
Well, go ahead.
go on and fuck out of here.
That's the point. That's the point.
Right. Verse 9. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, Thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Though ye get ye straw where you can find it, yet not aught of your work shall be diminished.
I'm not going to help you. I know you're asking for help, but I'm not going to help you. You got to get your own stuff, but you better not slack on what I need to get done. That's the same thing that happens today in New Egypt, right? Or Egypt again, as in the Deuteronomy. We'll get that. But that's what's going on today. The living wage, the true living wage isn't what it should be in America today. You regular people don't earn a living wage. There's a small number of you that earn a living wage, a reasonable living wage. But they've changed, but you don't even realize that these commercials and this TV change what you believe you need. So you need iPhones and iPads and computers and all of this other stuff. Those are on your priority list rather than warm clothes and cars that take care of your necessity. Those things are more important to you rather than what you really need in this world. Oh, for the race. These people are racing. Yeah, they know all about it.
Yeah, talk to these people about it.
So, I don't know why they think I guess we look like we know something. I don't know. But that's what's going on. But then he expects you to come to work your 8 hours, get your minimum breaks, and get your minimum wage. You know, he expects that to happen. He don't want your performance to diminish, not realizing you have to travel way across town to commute to these reasonable houses that, you got to commute to get to somewhere decent to live, if you can afford it. Both parents gotta work. Your kids is at school getting that miseducation all damn day. And so they win no matter what. But you better make sure that whatever he wants is getting done. Or he gonna fire you, or there's gonna be consequences that go with it. That's the same thing that happened in old Egypt that Pharaoh did. And that's the same thing that happens today. Now, the Pharaoh today can be called Obama, but there's those higher than Obama that set up these laws and write all these things. That want a certain agenda. That's why they have certain laws written up a certain way. But they're still pushing a message of a Pharaoh from ancient Egypt.
This is Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. I'm going to start at verse 8. And now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
And see, that's what happened here in America. Right around when Martin Luther King and all those guys was trying to get the segregation and get freedom and all of those things, what happened? The Vietnam War came, and a lot of our people went into that war and started fighting with the white men instead of fighting against the white men, forgetting who our natural born enemy was. And so they joined us together in a common cause, and then we forgot that we were fighting against who our real enemy was. It wasn't the Viet Cong. When we got over there, those veterans, those Negro and Latino veterans that was over there that talked to the Viet Cong, they always let them know, like, hey, this ain't your war. We don't have a beef with you. We got a beef with the white man that runs America. You know? That's where the real beef is at. But that got you all docile and forgetting who your true enemy was. That's why we participate in the Olympics. Take Jake out the Olympics, watch what happens. As soon as the next Olympics or the World Games or whatever that's coming up this year, or that passed or whatever, take Jake out of that, man. There ain't no competition. Ain't no competition. You take America won't win no golds. They'll just be participating. Take us up out of that.
And this was what was why Pharaoh was afraid, because Egypt was beginning to prosper under Joseph, which was one of the sons of Jacob.
Right.
And once they started to see that Israel was multiplying, they got afraid because we are mighty as a people.
Yep.
We you know when we get together, man, and the numbers is great, man. The Most High is dealing with us, man, and we got ultimate power, and that's what the ancient Pharaoh of ancient Egypt. That's what he feared. It's the same exact way that these so-called white people. That's what they fear when they see you niggas come together, man.
Yep.
You know.
Like Rodney King back then, they didn't like that shit.
They fear when you come together. That's the reason why over there right now in Ferguson, a lot of gun stores are selling out right now because Esau over there is scared because they know once they run the decision on that officer, that pig, once they run that verdict and they know that he's gonna be let scot-free, they're not gonna indict him. Then they already know niggas gonna run rampant. They gonna go crazy.
Yep.
You know, they gonna go burn. They gonna continue to go burn shit, man. So that's why them crackers are over there panicking because they're afraid that you niggas are gonna come together, man.
Yep.
You Jakes and you Hispanics, y'all gonna come together and y'all gonna start fucking these devils up.
As you're supposed to. Because like Pharaoh was said, they be a war, or whether it be a class war, race war, whatever, when they rise up, Jake come together and realize that they supposed to be on the same team, and we're from the same forefathers, that we the same people, and we come against our real enemies, that's when we're gonna be unstoppable.
Yep.
That's we gonna be back to how we supposed to be.
So when Pharaoh got afraid, he made it worse. He pretty much was like, all right, well, I'm finna make them go. I'm finna make them go into a hardcore bondage.
Yeah.
Let's give them that hard work, man.
Gonna break their spirit. Matter of
Break
fact,
their spirit.
hold on, because the same thing happened. Go to Revelation.
Hold on. It was more. It's more to it.
Hold that though. Because we want to talk about that hardcore bondage. You want to talk about that? The hardcore bondage and slavery?
Hey guys, is anybody
Revelation.
What you're
pretty
about
sure
to know,
that
what you're about to read.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. There we go.
Okay. Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Yep.
And your taskmaster, like your modern day taskmaster, that's pretty much these damn cops.
Yep.
You know,
Your boss is at your
your
job.
bosses at your job, the supervisors
Somebody
that
take
put
the
hell
heat.
on you,
Yep.
that's watching over you. Any little thing that you do wrong, they gonna fuck with you.
Yep.
You know, so that was going on back then, right? Showing you that this is this is Egypt again.
Yes.
And you Negroes and Hispanics, you so deep asleep, you don't even realize it, man. How spiritual that is to know that you didn't return back to Egypt,
Yep.
and you niggas want to actually be a part of Egypt, man. Just like you wanted to back then when we got delivered out of Egypt, you wanted to go back.
I was
So it's no surprise that you niggas want to stay in this modern day Egypt and continue to be oppressed and belittled and kept at the bottom of the totem pole, man.
Yep.
But wait till this exodus occurs.
Hey.
And the majority of you Negroes that want to stay in this Egypt, you're not gonna be delivered in the next exodus.
Right. You're
You're not gonna make
let
it.
you go.
You're not gonna make it. You're gonna die
Pharaoh
with.
not gonna
You're gonna
let
make.
you go.
You're gonna die with Pharaoh, man.
Yep.
You're gonna perish with Pharaoh.
Rightfully so.
Keep going. It says, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Yeah.
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Yeah, the more they tried to, Pharaoh tried to put hell on Jacob or Israel, the more it's just like today. What Jake do when they ain't got nothing else to do with their life? They stay in the house and have sex, and multiply and have babies. They keep growing. That's the only pleasure, and that's one of the few pleasures we have in today. It's the brotherhood for those that's in the know, and dealing with women. That's why Jake is head over heels over women. And women and drugs is all Jake got nowadays, man. To find any type of pleasure in the world. They ain't getting pleasure from nowhere else. You know, and it's not even pleasurable the way Jake do it. Either one, women or drugs. You know?
It says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage,
Yep.
in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field.
Now let's not forget, we did that already, and we continually do that even today. We did that when the slave ships came over. And then the natives that were still here, the natives and the Hispanics that were still here, they did it also. We ain't gonna act like they didn't work either, they worked too. And that's why they're also working today. We're all working today for the same, for Pharaoh, to say it that way, for the same system, for the same head, the same ideal to accomplish a goal of one head something, one head person or something, or entity, whatever you want to get, one kingdom. Right? Come on.
I'm gonna read it again. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage
Now
and
that
mortar.
bitter is big, right? Because when the Passover, what do you have? You got to eat that bitter herb.
Yep. What
With
is
the
it? Because what
Passover.
is it reminding you of?
Remind you of
The
that
bitterness of our slavery, man. The
Exactly.
hardcore bondage we served as a nation, man.
Right. They don't want us up there, you know, working on a chain gang and, you know, hammering railroad tracks and, you know, singing songs. They don't like them songs be too uplifting. That Kumbaya, they don't like that.
Yep.
They want you singing Wiz Khalifa and dumb shit, you know. They want you saying that's why all the songs that y'all gonna remember all the Lil Wayne songs when it's time to, when the shit really hits the fan, man. And it ain't gonna lift your spirit up like them old Negro spirituals and them other songs by the other tribes had, man, about the Lord delivering us back in that day. Keep going.
It says, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field, all their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Everything they made them do was hard, difficult. Keep going.
That's it on that.
Go to Revelations 12:12. Because let's not hold that also.
And that was also proof
Refer back to it.
how it was the Hebrews that were responsible for building them pyramids, man.
Yep.
Because what were the pyramids built with? With brick
Mortar.
and mortar.
Mortar is just the slime or whatever you want to call it, but it's the sticky part that you put in between the concrete they use today.
Yep.
They put that together to hold each brick together. So you can't just push it over.
Yep. 12 and
12:12.
12 and 12. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12.
Just, read up a little bit. 12:12. Yeah, it's supposed to be 12.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, the devil come down to them. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Yeah, that great wrath is also what Pharaoh was doing. Because he's like, hey, they going to overtake us. They growing too great. So that's the same thing that the devil going to do with this beast in America. He's going to do. He's going to come down, just like Pharaoh came down and made them serve with rigor and bitter, made it bitter, same thing now.
Yep.
You know, he's going to make sure that this is tough, but you're going to have to make a serious decision about trying to come up out of here. You know, just like before. Now, I'm not going to make it easier for you. I'm going to make you work harder and get your own shit. You're going to have to fight, and you better not slack up at all. But we don't have, I don't give a damn. We're going to make this bitter and tough for you. Same thing Esau going to do coming up in these times.
Yep.
He's going to come down with great wrath.
Which basically he's going to harden his heart.
Yep.
You know, he's going to harden his heart against the Most High, against us, against Israel, man.
Yep.
That's the reason why this devil got so much. He got so much brewing for you that he got a lot pent up for you niggas, man.
Like that Ferguson thing,
That
right?
whole Ferguson, man, you gonna see how that turn out, man.
He's going. That's why I don't want to guarantee, because you know that ain't what it's about. But if that cop get off, it's gonna be something, and that would just be an easy one. If that cop get off in Ferguson, he wants y'all to ride and loot this time. He wasn't expecting it with Rodney King, but this time he wanted to happen.
Yep.
Because guess what? One of his major things that he got brewing for you is martial law.
Yep.
And that's what he's gonna start pushing out martial law with that. They're already doing medical martial law, which they're calling quarantine. They're already doing that part.
Yep.
And you people don't even think about it or care. Oh no, I just don't want Ebola. Wait, what are they doing to stop it? How did it get here? You don't realize it has a formula that America owns, a patent on the formula of Ebola. Along with AIDS and syphilis or whatever, I don't remember what the other ones were. But they got that.